Pep Guardiola is going to sign a brand new bumper deal. Our beloved manager, Pep Guardiola, is about to enter his final season in his current contract at Manchester City. We have now had him for 6 glorious years, winning 11 trophies in that span. And the big question on many City fans' mind right now is he going to extend? And if so, how long will the extension be? Now, Joe, a lot of people are throwing out there that Pep won't extend past 2 years. People are saying he won't extend past 3 years because he's been here so long that he doesn't want to commit his really long-term future to City. But we do have some sources now. As always, people, you guys can get down below in the comments and tell us how reliable all these sources are, because we don't want to claim to know reliability of any journalists or anything. We just aggregate. We tell you what we see and we give our thoughts on this news. Now, we have 2 tweets that we want to talk about. One is from someone that I know myself, Grizz Khan. He is a member of the Big Six panel, a big show a lot of you guys will watch. And in fairness to Grizz, as long as I've been watching that show, he's been quite accurate with a lot of his predictions in terms of transfers and contracts, and he claims to have some in-the-know kind of sources, and he has spoken, even as a Liverpool fan, on the Pep Guardiola contract situation, and he says, the quote is, Pep Guardiola has been offered a 6-year contract by Manchester City. 6 years! If so, and if that's true, and Pep was to accept that, you're looking at 12 years or 13 years of Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. That is absolutely mental. And then you have from the Blue Moon Forum, which is a forum on, I'm not sure what, is it Reddit or something like that people take very seriously. A lot of information comes from the Blue Moon Forum that people take very seriously, and subsequently does seem to be true a lot of the time. A lot of the Erling Haaland news came from the Blue Moon Forum, and a lot of it was very accurate. This is via 9320 Blue on the Blue Moon Forum. He says, being told the meeting with the owner and Pep couldn't have gone any better. Big extension coming. Emphasis on the big extension coming. Now, Joe, before we talk about the ins and outs of all this, how do you feel on the Pep Guardiola contract situation? Because it is, he hasn't signed anything. So the reality is we're in squeaky bum time in terms of getting him to extend further.
We are considering the last time he was entering his last year. We started off the season awfully. We thought his head wasn't in it. We thought this was it. This was, Pep was going to be gone after this year, and we were just going to have a bit of a poor season because it was going to be a transition period to the next manager. Obviously, he then turns around, signs a contract extension. We turn the season around to do, sort of all right. But yeah, I mean, I have never been so confident in something surrounding the club in my life. I am so confident he's going to sign a new deal. How long it is, I don't know. I don't really care. I am so confident he's going to sign a new deal. It's so perfect. He seems to have fallen in love with the club, the area itself. He seems to have genuinely found it as like a second home to him. You see when he's doing his press conference, I mean, some of the quotes towards the end of the season just gone were absolutely mind-boggling. He was throwing digs left, right and centre. He just seems to, everything just seems so perfect right now that I don't see a world in which he doesn't sign some sort of extension. Obviously, the whole 2 or 3 years, if he signs for the next 3 years, that'll take him up to a decade, which is practically unheard of for Pep Guardiola. He doesn't normally stay around for more than 4 or 5 years. So we're incredibly lucky to be in this situation where we've had him for so long. But it genuinely wouldn't surprise me if this whole 6-year contract is true. It genuinely wouldn't surprise me, because I don't know why he'd leave. He's in the perfect place. He's managing some of the best players in world football. He's winning trophies season in, season out. He's competing on all 4 fronts every single season. I don't know why he would choose to leave. Obviously, if he was to leave, I think he'd lean towards a sabbatical, taking a year out, because he's been managing for a long time now. I think he wants to take a bit of a break, because it can be quite stressful. I mean, he's bald, so he doesn't really have any hair to tear out. But no, I don't see him leaving anytime soon. And I do hope it's a 6-year deal, because I'm enjoying the football, and I'm almost certain he's enjoying winning.
We're going to play a clip for you right now. Watch this. Tell me that does not look like a man who loves where he is and loves the club and loves the fans and loves everything about where he is right now. That is a man who is very happy. And you touched on a second ago, Joe, recent press conferences, and he's been posed the question multiple times, are you going to extend? Because journalists are eager to get this information. Does he plan on extending? And the thing with Pep is, if you analyse his press conferences over the years and the way he goes about talking about transfers even, he plays his cards really close to his chest. He never really gives away any information. He'll play dumb most of the time. He'll say things like, I'm not speaking about that, or I don't know much about that, or that's up to the club. But no, he's actually spoken about this situation, and he has said things like, why would I want to leave? I have everything I want. The club keep me happy. The club give me everything I want. He's just signed Erling Haaland, people. We will keep talking about Haaland. Haaland is linked to everything we do on this channel, first of all. But tell me, I want you guys to realise that Haaland would not come to City if Pep wasn't planning on a fairly large extension. Haaland has signed a 4 or 5 year deal. You think he's going to sign that 4 or 5 year deal on the basis that he's only going to get 2 or 3 of those with Pep? No, I think he's been promised by Pep he wants to stay. And I think a big thing to take note of is the meeting Pep did have with Sheikh Mansour in the last few days. Pep flew out with Khaldoon and a couple of the other officials on the board of the club, and clearly had a lengthy conversation with Sheikh Mansour. There was multiple interviews done out there, and now you have sources saying that, like from the Blue Moon Forum here, that the interview, or the meeting rather, couldn't have gone any better. That's a huge thing. They looked all smiles. I think my guess is Sheikh Mansour spoke to Pep before he went out to wherever the Sheikh is he in Abu Dhabi or somewhere, and said, come out to me, I want to have a chat with you. And I think it was with the idea that Sheikh Mansour would say, I want you to extend for a long time. And I think it's a high possibility. I think the initial suggestions from people that he would only extend for 2 or 3 years, in my opinion, are actually less likely than the possibility he'll extend for a long time. I think Pep is really, really happy where he is. I think he's found a home. I think he feels really comfortable. He knows the board very well. They don't put existential pressure on him or make him unhappy in any way. You never hear. I mean, look at all the other clubs around England, big clubs in the world, managers constantly falling out with board members and owners, and decision making isn't going the way they would like, or they've got different ideas. Pep and Manchester City, mentally and in terms of trajectory, are aligned perfectly. They're running parallel. The club is working with Pep to keep him happy, and he's keeping the club happy. It's a perfect partnership that I don't think anybody wants to end right now. Now, if he is to sign a 6-year deal, I would imagine that he will probably get a pay increase, because with the amount of trophies and success Pep has brought in the last 6 years, it is only natural that clubs like Paris Saint-Germain and maybe international teams or big other clubs around Europe with big budgets will offer him bigger money and say, listen, I know you're enjoying life at City, but we'll offer you another 2-3 million a year on top of what you're already earning. So I think the club will be smart in that decision, and they will offer him more money. Joe, the meeting with Sheikh Mansour seemed to me like it was a routine thing. I know they do that quite regularly, but with the news that we've got from that meeting, that it couldn't have gone any better, and a lot of other sources have said similar things, for me anyway, and you can give your thoughts, it screams like a long-term extension, and I hope that's the case.
I hope that's the case as well. And again, there's no reason for it not to be long term. Like I said before, there's no better place, in my opinion, for Pep to be than where he is right now. Like, we are one of the best run clubs. We always spend the money on the right player. Pep obviously gets his targets most of the time. Obviously, disappointing with what happened last summer, but we rectified it this summer with actually signing Haaland. So again, like he said it before, he's incredibly happy. The club give him exactly what he wants, what he needs, and we've got the trophies to show for it. Again, like, this is getting on domination terms in the Premier League, in English football. This is coming to, we are dominating, we are winning leagues, or we're winning something every season, minimum. Even if we, drop off, we had that one season where we had loads of injuries and we dropped off, we still won a Carabao Cup. People say it's only the Carabao Cup. We're still winning trophies regardless. And again, like you said, the thing with Haaland signing a 4 or 5 year deal, he's obviously been promised something big, otherwise he wouldn't have committed for so long. He wants to work with the best of the best players, the best managers, the best coaches, with the best club. He wants to win everything he can. And why would he do that if Pep's only going to stay for 2 or 3 years, like you said? So I think that this news of a big extension is true. I think it's true, but I think that it might not be 6 years, it might be 5 years, but 5 years is still a very long time for him to extend. And I don't think any of us expected him to stay for as long as he has anyway. So, to say that, he doesn't stay for a long time, so it'll only be 2 years, well, that idea's gone out the window because he's already stayed for ages anyway. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know when it's going to get done. I hope it gets done before the start of next season so we can just concentrate on just going, from the get-go, try and win things again, instead of maybe a bit of a slower start where we're still negotiating and there's still talks and murmurs. I hope it just gets done as soon as possible so we can just move on, because I think the whole world knows that this is going to happen.
I think there's a huge amount of importance on something you said there, which is getting it done before the start of the season. And I think that's possibly why his meeting with Sheikh Mansour happened so recently, because they want to get that tied up by July, possibly before pre-season starts. So everybody in the camp, staff, players, and Pep and the club, everybody knows where they all stand and knows what's happening. But listen, my hunch is that regardless of how long his extension is, by the time Pep Guardiola leaves, I believe we will have seen at least 10 years of Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, and we can all be extremely grateful for that, because these have been unbelievable years, and I know there's more to come. Listen, get down below in the comments and give us your thoughts on all these little pieces of news. Give us your thoughts on everything we've said, and give us your thoughts on how long his extension will be, and is he going to extend, obviously. Do us a massive favour as well, if you would, leave a like on the video. The support from recently has been absolutely fantastic. We've had over 1,000 views on most of our recent videos, and we're on the road now to 2.6k subs, so subscribe if you're new. The channel is going in a great direction, and we really appreciate all of your support. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on Wednesday with another video. Good night and God bless.